Hey everyone, welcome to Did That Age Well? Brought to you by sponsored by Spider Moving and Storage. I have a direct quote from my friend Mary, who recently moved with Spider Moving and Storage. She said to me, Vlad and Spider Moving are superheroes. Like, truly, they were fantastic. I am so grateful for them. She sent that to me. No, she's not getting compensated for this. That was real from the heart. Spider Moving and Storage, you guys rock. Thank you for your support. If you have a move coming up, go to spidermoving.com and then you can figure out what you need for your move. Okay, everybody. Today, my guest is a guest who does his homework. He's a guest who is a neighbor in this neighborhood. Could have walked here, didn't, but he didn't know exactly where it was, and that is fine. Today, you know him as Johnny Tsunami. You know him from the Flip Phone Confessional podcast. You know him as wedding officiant extraordinaire. You know him as Brandon. Welcome to the show, Brandon Baker.
Thank you so much for having me here. Speaking of doing your homework, great job.
You know what? It was all in your Instagram bio.
Nice. Copy, paste.
Yeah, I just said copy, paste.
Great job.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you so much. I am talking with you today about John Malkovich, but we need to get some things on the record first. I have
John Tsunami.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
So we talked about Johnny Tsunami on the podcast, my friend Ash and me.
Yes. So good.
A few weeks ago, and we need to get some things straight, like true or false.
This is great. Honestly,
there are some things that we discussed on the podcast that we need to set the record straight from the source. True or false? Okay. True or false? You live in Boulder. Obviously,
I do
false.
not. Used to live in Boulder.
Yes.
Now live in Denver.
Okay.
Yes.
So you did at one time.
Correct.
Live there. Okay. True or false? Retired from acting.
Retired from acting. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, excellent.
I'm not against anything happening in the future.
Sure, if anyone has any offers.
Correct, honestly. I mean, I guess I'm the most open to it now than I have been within the last, 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is cool, which is probably the reason why I'm here right now.
Love that.
But yeah, not pursuing it.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. True or false, you're nice to people at restaurants.
This is so fucking good. Because my wife listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
And she was...
Which I love. I love that she listened. Shout out. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Nina. Love you. No, it was really funny that we were going through and fact checking as we were listening to the podcast.
Amazing.
Which I'm so thankful that people think that I'm nice. I'd like to think that I'm a nice guy. Yeah. I'm only really like an asshole like behind closed doors.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But in public arenas...
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. We'll ask Nina, really, if you're
right,
as nice
exactly.
as people at restaurants seem to think you are. Okay, true or false? You think BK Sherrod is funny? BK Sherrod, comedian, friend of the pod.
Which I did go back into my DMs and I was like, oh shit, we did talk.
That is so
several years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. He must have really made an impression for him to have remembered that years later and brought it up to me.
And honestly, let's just be real. Like brown dudes in Boulder, in Colorado, gotta support each other, you know?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That makes me so happy. Okay, and then true or false, you play in a band. Do you play in a band?
I do play in a band.
Okay, tell me about your band.
Our band is named The Cheeks. I play bass. We are kind of a psychedelic funk rock band. We're playing a show in Boulder actually on March 28th, like a fundraiser for a local like music project out there called Roots Project.
That's so cool.
So yeah, come on down and shake your booty and say hi.
Right. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
Have fun. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that those are the only like definitive claims that we made about you and your history. But
great.
But let's discuss anything that you want to confront me about or correct for the record as you were listening to the Johnny Tsunami podcast. In other words, did my episode about your movie age well?
It really did.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So gracious
and I'm
of you
so
to say.
glad that I can say that and mean it.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you can say it and mean it as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Ash. What up? Thanks for being on that episode. Yeah. Yeah, there was just like so many insights. I'd never thought that deeply about my movie before.
Totally.
And I was just honored that you two really brought it back to not only, I mean, obviously who you were when you were younger,
right,
what that means in like transformative periods of life,
right,
but you know how Johnny Tsunami was about classism. You know, I was like, what the fuck?
Didn't think about that when you were a child, did you?
Yeah, no, I did, but I'm surprised that someone picked up on that. You know,
of course.
Just preparing for my role, I'm like, this is gonna
totally.
give this 20 years to marinate and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone's going to wake up in their 30s and really think about this. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Oh my God, love it. Okay, so I'm so glad that it was a positive experience for you. I feel like, okay, here's the thing. I am not a person who was a child actor, okay?
Okay.
And I only imagine when people bring up something that you did a long time ago that you don't do anymore, it could get kind of annoying. How do you not get annoyed?
Great question.
Yeah.
It's really helpful that 98% of the people that I meet are all really fucking cool about it. So that's awesome. It's like even within that movie, right? Kerry Tagawa, R.I.P.
Oh, R.I.P.
He had an awesome role, but Yuji Okamoto, who played my dad, kind of a shitty dad.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck dads. Going back
Fuck
to that episode. You know what I mean? But he's a great guy. Yeah. And me and him are like so close to this day.
Oh,
he has like an awesome Hawaiian restaurant out in Seattle. He's
cool.
doing Karate Kid still.
That's so sick.
But people know him as the shitty dad. You know what I mean?
Guy,
so he goes around and he gets people relating to him in that regard.
Oh my god.
Versus Johnny, just like a nice good kid. You know what I mean?
Not really a whole lot to like project onto that other than like nice kid.
Totally.
Yeah.
So when people do meet me in a restaurant in Denver, there is this sense of, oh, I've seen the movie so many times that I'm like embedded in people's like childhood in a way.
Whoa, what a trip.
Because they've like hung out with me so many times.
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yeah.
And because Johnny's like such a nice kid.
Totally.
They're like, oh my God, come over to my house. Like eat my things. Let me introduce you to my friends. And luckily, not behind closed doors. I'm not an asshole.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know? And, but
when you're a guest at other people's homes and restaurants, you tend to be nice.
Which is awesome. Yeah. Because like sometimes I think like, oh man, if I was a dirtbag, this could like go wrong and weird.
For sure.
But luckily it hasn't. I also think, I've done a pretty good job of having some space between that version of myself and who I am now.
Yeah.
Colorado has really been a lot of that for me. Like when I moved out here, I wasn't really toying with the idea of acting still, but when I got here about 10 years ago now, there was like, oh, you don't even have the opportunity to act.
Right, yeah.
Which was really weird at first.
For sure.
But then eventually was like super freeing.
Yeah.
So it gave me that space to kind of figure out who I was.
Cool.
To like form an identity that like I was able to like self-actualize.
Yeah.
As an adult, because that identity kind of happened when I was a kid actor.
Right, yeah.
And so having that ability to self-define, going back to being John Malkovich,
totally,
was super helpful. And now I feel like I have been able to like marry the two, where it's like, oh, I still really love that part of myself. I'm very appreciative of all of that work. And still, honestly, the opportunities it affords me, like being here right now.
Totally.
It's this weird, like, cherries on top thing of something that I did 25 years ago.
That's so cool.
That still is paying in this, like, beautiful way. So super appreciative.
My God, my heart. You guys.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
We're going to get fucking deep on this podcast.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy.
Great.
Well, that leads me to a really important question, which is if you could go inside the mind of a celebrity for 15 minutes, and remember, it was $200, and that was in 1990.
Yeah.
So that would be like $400 now. So you got to think like what would be worth the money. 15 minutes. I know I should have let you think about this beforehand instead of springing it on you.
Well, what's interesting is I looked up a few actors who are 43. I did.
Amazing.
And just some names that I've written down: Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh wow.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Cool.
Kieran Culkin.
Amazing.
Just randomly.
Love those options.
I think in terms of who I would want to be, I guess I probably want to be Jason Momoa. Yeah, because I'd want to be just like a 6'4", like hunky, like muscular, like brown man.
Totally.
Like kind of who I always wished I was, but just never fucking happens.
Who you imagine you are when you close your eyes at night.
100%.
Yeah. Totally.
But I think to recast this movie now, I think it's easily Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of an oddball.
Yes.
He is very successful and good at what he does, but he still is, you don't know too much about him.
We don't know much about his life.
Right. Whereas like Gosling, you know a lot about, Gyllenhaal, you know like a lot about, but Malkovich was very good at his job, but he still kind of had this like normal everyman version to him.
Right.
So I think to be Kieran Culkin would be super cool. I guess, well, I didn't even realize this. Random story. I was a guest star on a TV show back in the day that I think ran for like one season, starring Kieran Culkin.
Really?
And I played an Indian kid named Sumir that wrestled him on mats in gym class. So shout out to Kieran. What up,
you
dude?
you have really encountered Kieran in a way that not even someone who has been inside his head can.
So true.
That's
I'm kind of
wild.
like Maxine in that way, I suppose, in this scenario. I'm the
You really kind of are.
kind of sexual love interest in a onesie, just wrestling Kieran
Totally.
Culkin. Yep.
That's so funny.
Welcome
in
to my
a
mind.
signet. You know what's funny? People in Australia say signet for like a tank top. When I think of a signet, of course, I think wrestling.
Can you do an Australian accent?
No.
Okay.
Nar.
Nar. Good.
Nar.
Signet.
Naurrr. Nar. Okay. Let's talk about puppets. Have you ever worked with puppets before?
So let's talk about puppets.
So let's talk about puppets for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've never worked with puppets before.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Chalamet, you know?
Yeah.
And like the death of opera and the ballet and puppets.
And puppets.
You know, no one talks about puppets anymore.
No one's going to the puppet show anymore.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've been to a random puppet show in West Hollywood.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like a gay puppet show with a man that would contort his penis into various like food items.
Wild.
So in terms of puppet show, that's probably the last one I attended.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably for a lot of people, that's the last one.
Do you go to puppet shows?
You know,
often?
never been to one that I can think of.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I imagine I've probably seen a puppet show at like a fair. I don't know. I don't know where I would have seen a puppet show. Not on the streets of Manhattan, but
writhing on one another.
Oh my gosh. You know what I just remembered was that like Harry Potter puppet show. Do you remember that from the early days of YouTube?
Oh, yeah. I think I do know what you're talking about.
I think that was the last time I watched a puppet show.
Okay, great.
But you know what?
Well, welcome
I think
back.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be back. I like that they don't make a joke out of puppeteering. Like, even though it is like a very silly job, like it's a quirky thing about Craig, he's actually good at it. He's not just like a shitty puppeteer. So puppeteer. That's enough about puppets for now.
But this movie is quite meta, though, right? Because
course.
obviously that puppeteering is a metaphor for so many things.
Of course.
For an avatar online, for literally being an actor.
Yes.
For playing God.
Yeah.
Or even for you being the puppeteer of your own body and life.
Or someone else's.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, it's what gets him the job, filing things. Because he's got nimble fingers.
That's very true. Didn't think about that.
He's got to be good at, you know how it goes.
Which, like, good for Lottie, you know? Like a man with great fingers.
I know.
Love
and
it.
Good for, doesn't he say something to Maxine about being good with his hands or something? I don't know. Maybe I just kind of made that up.
Well, there's that
in my
one
head.
secretary that's like, oh, I wish you could file me. Like one of the...
Yeah, she says, I wish you could file me. That was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got John Cusack as Craig, Cameron Diaz as Lottie, Catherine Keener as Maxine, John Malkovich as himself, Orson Bean as Dr. Lester. I was doing a little bit of reading beforehand, and Spike Jonze was in this article with The Guardian talking about how they didn't have any backups for John Malkovich. They were like, it is him. That's who we need. A lot of it was because his name is so fun to say. And it just like... Malkovich. And someone was like, why is it not being Tom Cruise? Like someone from the studio.
Yeah.
And like same with the people who were, I don't know, funding it, first reading the script. And he was like, no, it's John Malkovich. That's the only person who can do it. Didn't like... had him in mind the whole time.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Apparently, Charlie.
Or rather, I should say Charlie Kaufman.
Okay, got it.
This was the Spike Jonze was talking about Charlie Kaufman in the article in The Guardian.
Yeah, apparently. So I did a little bit of homework as well.
Oh my gosh, of course
I
you
know.
did.
And yeah, Charlie Kaufman somehow it got to Malkovich's desk.
Yeah.
And he was like, great, I would love to produce it.
Yeah.
And I would love to, have it be like anybody else other than me, because I think this is great writing.
Right.
And he's like, no, thanks. It's only going to be you.
There's only one option. There's no other option.
And I will not make this for like my very first like big break.
Yeah.
I'll do literally anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to be you.
Imagine having that power.
I know. Well, or even like that blind confidence.
Absolutely.
Charlie Kaufman like was obviously a brilliant writer, but didn't really have anything to his name at that point.
Right. Yeah. He just was. He was just there for the love of the game, for the love of the Malkovich.
Nothing against Smith or Baker, but
yeah.
Malkovich, it is just so fucking
gives
fun.
You something to chew on.
100%.
Yeah, totally. I was also reading a little bit in this article in Salon from I think it was like within a year or two of the movie coming out. There was this interview. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit lost in my notes, but there was this interview with Kaufman, and he was like, there is no message. Like, the message is that there's no message. And he really made some connections between like himself and Larry David. And he's basically saying like, this is a movie about nothing.
Seinfeld, yeah.
Yeah, this is a movie about nothing. I don't have solutions. I don't like movies that have solutions. Similar to Larry David's famous line, no hugging, no learning. So
funny. That's great.
It's kind of funny. I think also another parallel is just like these self-obsessed New Yorkers who just like...
self-obsessed and self-loathing.
Self-obsessed, self-loathing. Yeah. They've got all kinds of deep-seated issues, and they're all trying to make it.
Well, I mean, I know we're talking about Malkovich.
Yeah.
But have you seen Adaptation?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so that is like another movie that he made where he was the writer. Nicolas Cage plays Charlie Kaufman in the film. So Charlie Kaufman writes himself into the film as a character. And it's Nicolas Cage plays him and his twin brother. So it's almost like a Sinners thing.
Whoa.
So Nicolas Cage, yes, exactly. Cool. And he's this like self-loathing, overweight, like shitty, not confident person.
Yeah.
Like literally on the screen, and that's clearly who Charlie Kaufman is.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine like when people say like, who would you cast for yourself in a movie?
You would say?
I don't know who I'd say. I don't know. There's like not that many, like physically, there's not that many girls that look like me in Hollywood. Maybe Beanie Feldstein.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I guess. Her character in Booksmart reminded me a lot of myself when I was in high school.
Awesome.
Tragically. Being like, yeah, I do my homework and you guys don't.
Oh, you know what? One thing that just popped up in my head that we on the True or False.
Yeah.
From the episode that you did, there's like, there's an actor that he reminds me of.
Yeah.
And people, or at least that's what Ash was saying, people say I look like Benjamin Bratt.
Oh, Benjamin Bratt.
So to perhaps scratch that itch in Ash's brain.
Yeah, this is for you, Ash.
Yeah. But of course, I would choose Jason Momoa for myself.
Obviously.
So, duh.
Obviously, duh. And any casting director would say the same thing.
Right. Oh, they're both brown. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Momoa, he's probably Filipino or something, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know who else I would think to cast as myself, but I think that's the thing. It's almost like if you're a self-loathing person, it's a bit of an insult to whoever you've chosen to play you, to be like, well, you are a sad person probably, or at least you can play one.
If they are a sad person, perhaps it is.
Yeah.
But if they're not a sad person, then that is like so much fun to chew on.
Of course.
So,
of course. And of course, they're acting. So they don't have to choose somebody who's actually sad. I don't know. But I don't think that it's something that a lot of people really have to deal with. Not a common thing to come across, but I don't know.
The night is young,
Yeah,
we'll see where. Yeah.
The night is young. And again, Brandon is available for anyone
any self-loathing parts.
Taking
send them my way.
pitches at this moment. And okay, so Kaufman also said that Being John Malkovich started out as a story about a man who falls in love with someone who's not his wife. And then it just evolved from that
into a fever dream. Good God.
It's like when Safdie said that Marty Supreme was a story about your parents having a life before you're born. I'm like, that's what that
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I guess ultimately it's not what it's about.
Yeah.
So then he just kind of introduced these ideas that entertained him, like the 7.5 floor. And then everything just kind of started going from there.
Incredible.
Which
is, that is part of what I love so much about this movie is just how weird it is.
Of course.
And you can tell he's written this in a silo.
Yeah.
Because if he did get feedback and listened to any feedback, so much of the weirdness would have been stripped away from it.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have lost just all of the incredible verve that it has.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. I think this is, I'm so glad that he didn't get notes during the process. I mean, maybe he did, but from trusted people who understood. But I'm guessing probably not.
Probably not. I saw an interview with Malkovich, and he's basically saying him and Spike Jonze are two people that you just shouldn't pick fights with. Yeah. Because it'll go bad for you, and it's a waste of your time. So they were both incredibly resolute.
Yes.
It's pretty much brand new filmmakers to that point. Spike Jonze had done a bunch of music videos.
Right, but
this
first,
is his big break.
Yeah, totally.
And thank God they stuck to their guns.
I know. Completely.
Yeah.
This could have been a movie that saw itself as just I'm a little quirky.
Yeah.
But instead it's this bizarre fever dream, and thank God it is.
Yep.
This also, I mean, speaking of Spike Jonze, for God's sake, totally redefined what a Spike Jonze film could be. The range.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, I feel like he returns to this a couple of times, especially with her.
Yeah, totally.
This relationship that you have with self and identity, and relationships that are somewhat I don't know, through a different lens or technology.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, I can see how you've arrived here from this for sure.
For sure. And also, I think it's so interesting to have gone from the experience of making these short form videos to creating this long feature film. I can't imagine how exhausting that would be. It's going from writing short stories to writing a novel and being I'm still with the same story.
Right. Well, this movie is chock full of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
So they have packed it in there with so many ideas to the point where I will, I'm sure, forget about what I'm talking about within this conversation several times.
Oh, absolutely. Me too.
But they've actually organized it pretty well to where you don't get too lost in any of the minutia. And even if you do for a second have that issue of suspending your disbelief, they move on pretty quickly, and you're like, whatever, fuck it. It's a runaway roller coaster. Let's just keep with it.
Totally. You're how did he stay in there beyond 15 minutes? I forget. I don't know, but whatever. I'm just accepting it.
And it's so absurd. They start off with it with small things being absurd, like the 7.5 floor.
Yeah.
That you're okay, well, I don't need to think too hard about some of the reasons why we're doing some of these things. Which I guess is, kind of like a psychedelic music video.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it's even though the music doesn't play a strong role in this, arguably,
sure,
there's still so many auditory things to chew on.
Such as?
Such as when we first get into John Malkovich's head and you hear him sort of the muffled sound of the breathing and chewing and talking, and it's like all like raw, 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 raw. And it's like those ASMR videos where people are just like
exactly,
you know,
Malkovich.
exactly. That and like I think the like visually like the claustrophobia in the 7.5 floor.
I really say
it's like little like really uncomfortable sensory experiences
when they're crawling into Malkovich's portal.
Yeah.
And every time someone like puts their hand in that mud and you hear it squish.
Yeah, and it's
like yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, ugh.
I know, it's icky, but it makes it so visceral, which makes us remember it. Okay, thinking about like, first of all, 1999 as a
great movie year.
Great movie year.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, have you read the book Best Movie Year Ever?
I haven't.
Okay, you got it. It's all about 1999.
Oh, okay, great.
And it is really interesting how like 1999 shaped the future of films. Obviously, Johnny Tsunami being at the top of that list.
I didn't even fucking put that together.
Wait, wasn't in 99?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Well, obviously,
there you go.
Obviously, the defining film of the 20th century.
Right.
Capped it off. They saved the best for last, frankly. But in 1999, there is this like, there's this Gen X nihilism where everyone's just like, what does it all mean? This like, I'm just a corporate sellout.
Fight Club.
Exactly. Yep, I wrote in my notes parallels to movies like Fight Club.
Nice.
It has that sort of like similar like surrealism to Fight Club, but it's like there's this very unique like, I don't deserve to be here. What is my purpose? Kind of thing, but also feeling like things are meaningless. Yeah. And now in this like age of live streaming and having like so much access to a curated version, but a version nonetheless of celebrity life, it's like this movie could not be made today because I don't think people would find it that interesting to be John Malkovich for 15 minutes. They could just go on social media and
be whoever they want.
They want. Or they could like put on their VR headset and whatever, you know?
100%. Well, I mean, I think that people wouldn't be interested in being John Malkovich. And I remember when this first came out, this was before there was a lot of that self-awareness by celebrities of like even the cameos in this where people playing themselves.
Totally.
That wasn't a thing that we were really doing back then, where it's like now there's a ton of parodies and people do that all the time and have like an incredible cameo show up in a random movie. But yeah, for like that time frame to be in like what you're talking about, that like what the fuck is this all about? Yeah. Even that like the 7.5 floor. Yeah. Where they're literally bumping up their head against the corporate ceiling.
Exactly.
Or like, oh, I'm trapped in whatever the fuck is this bullshit.
Yeah.
And if I just listen to a video, then that's gonna justify why I'm in a fucking half floor. And I was just like, okay, yeah. And they just go along with it. And there was that feeling that angst back then. Yeah. Which is when, you know, Woodstock 99 came about. Yeah, of like, fuck this. Yeah. Whatever this is.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, like, thinking about how right now celebrities have this sort of like, they have not just who they are in whatever role they're playing. I guess if we're talking specifically about actors, but then there's like also they're really like a persona and a brand in their like quote unquote personal life in the version of their personal life that we see. Yeah. And then there's like the maybe 2 or 3 layers down, like who a person actually is in their everyday personal life.
Sure. If they even are able to discern between the two.
If they even, totally.
You know?
Totally.
Which I'm sure most of them do.
Yeah.
But I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Maybe some of them are so wrapped in. I mean, that is part of what this is talking about. There's like, I feel like there's 2 sides of it. There is the, wanting to be someone else and wanting to have the voyeuristic experience of putting on a VR headset.
Yeah.
Justin, my fellow podcast host, he's 90s kid for life.
Yeah.
What up, Justin? But he's started doing this thing where he constructed a bedroom in his house to be all 90s stuff.
Cool.
So he has like AOL.com dial-up and he bought the bed from his childhood that, you know, like the like old oak. You know, it's kind of, it kind of has that feeling to it.
Yeah.
And he puts on Meta glasses.
Whoa.
And he goes and he just like opens up Pokemon card packs.
No way.
And people love it. People love it.
Wild.
And I'm not that way, but there is a huge population that loves consuming this.
Totally.
And that's exactly what is happening in this movie, where you are just getting the first time the POV to like delve into someone's life.
Yeah.
And people just love, I think, escaping from their reality for a little bit. And honestly, I'm much more of a voyeur than an exhibitionist.
Yeah, totally.
So I totally get it.
Yeah, totally.
Within the celebrity part, that's what's really interesting of like how everyone has access to a certain level of celebrity. And there's so much of that. Like, let me give you part of myself to showcase and to build, a brand.
Right.
In 99, there was no internet.
Yeah.
I think Facebook is maybe 2004.
Yeah.
Instagram's 2005. So for Charlie Kaufman to know ahead of time that this was coming, it's fucking wild.
Absolutely wild. That also somebody who is like John Malkovich, who's not like he's not like an A-list. So I mean, obviously he was like an award-winning actor, but like he, this is why I think Kieran Culkin would be a perfect person to play him today if this movie was remade, because he's he's a handsome guy, but he's not like the Hollywood heartthrob hot guy.
Right.
He's not the Jason Momoa, you might say.
Right.
He's like kind of a person who we don't know a ton about, and he's still like well known enough that like he would be verified on Instagram or whatever.
Right.
You know, so it's like even somebody who's as, you know, like mid-level, really more of like an actor's actor, like John Malkovich, still has this expectation, or would have this expectation today of being like, okay, well, like, what's your persona? Like, what's your deal? What's your brand? What's your like?
Truly. I mean, this is something that I have been thinking about myself as I've started to put myself back out there.
Yeah, totally.
After kind of 10 years being offline in Colorado, just soaking up the Colorado sun and nature. And I'm like, okay, I think I know who I am a little bit more and I want to put myself out there.
Yeah.
There is this thing where people are like, yeah, but what is your angle and what is your brand?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's like, I don't want to think that way. Like I am such an amalgam of like so many different things.
Yeah.
It's weird to be thinking of like my perception, even listening to the podcast with you and Ash of like, oh, I forget. Like when I'm in a restaurant, I'm like just a guy like looking for like a chicken sandwich.
Right. You're like,
you know?
I eat food just like all of you.
Correct. Yeah. Like even like what we're seeing through John Malkovich's eyes.
Yeah.
I've seen on such a small level. Nothing even compared to what he's going through.
Yeah.
But I do have an understanding of like, oh, I'm being perceived without me being there. And that was honestly like, hearing you guys talk about me being in that restaurant was illuminating and a reminder of like, oh, weird. But I think even more so it weirded out my wife where she's like, oh, that's fucking crazy. Because she's just like, I know you like chicken sandwiches, you know? Anyway,
right.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is such a trip to like when you, to realize like when you're being perceived. Like we all have, okay, maybe some people don't, but like, I assume that we all have kind of like a main character POV. It's like,
sure.
You
I
know,
certainly hope we all do.
I certainly hope we all do. But like, you know, oftentimes like, you know, the cliche goes that like, you know, people aren't really that worried about what you're doing. Everyone's just worried about themselves, like blah, blah, blah.
True.
Most people probably think that others are thinking about them more than they actually are.
Right.
But for somebody who is like recognizable, who is like actually being perceived.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, whoa, it's really a trip to like have that confirmation maybe of like this innate feeling that we have in ourselves of like, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. But like when you're like, oh my God, everyone actually is looking at me.
To some degree.
To
some
degree. To the obviously the most extreme example of everyone's looking at me. It's more like, oh my God, somebody actually does recognize me when they're serving me this chicken sandwich.
And I'm hearing them talk about it. Because when I marry some of these couples, right, they're like, oh, we want Johnny Tsunami incorporated into our wedding.
Yeah.
The very first movie that we saw on our very first date was Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah.
And we have these references within our relationship.
Right.
That all I'm like, cool, I get that.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And I'm privy to that to some extent.
Right.
But to have someone be like, hey, what do they think about him? Like, what do they say about him?
Right.
That makes me think like, oh, fuck. Like, if I'm an asshole, maybe I don't actually fucking care, right?
Right.
Like, if I'm an asshole, then who gives a shit? I'm a fucking shitty guy at a restaurant.
Right.
I think some of that is correlated to the level of fame or notoriety that you have. That
right.
Luckily, I've achieved, like, in my lifetime, some sense of success and notoriety that it's like kind of gotten me like free beers for like me and my buddies at a bar.
Totally.
Which is kind of exactly where you want to be.
That is, I've always said that is the level of like fame that I want, is like the kind where I can still like go out and like live my life, but people who know me will come up to me and say, I love your work.
Totally. And
then that's it.
And I fucking made it.
You made it.
I fucking made it there. Yeah, because there's been a few times in my life where, you know, Johnny Tsunami was like popping off. I was doing some other stuff and it kind of was flying a little too close to the sun. And I was like 15 or 16 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was kind of a dick.
Yeah, of course you would. I would be a monster.
Right. I mean, and I wasn't a monster, but I just didn't know how to deal with it. It was just like, oh, this is like crazy. There is a sliding doors moment in my life that I think about where I was auditioning to be Jacob on Twilight.
Okay.
It's one of my last kind of bigger auditions I did before I like really left.
Yeah.
And had I gotten that part, which I don't think I was even close, but it was like one of those things where I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Had I done that, then my life would be completely different. I wouldn't be in Colorado. I would have never met my wife.
No.
And it would just been a whole other different side quest of life.
Completely.
Yeah.
And then like if you had wanted to continue acting, you would forever be Jacob. Like I haven't seen Taylor Lautner working and other stuff,
but he has a podcast with his wife named Taylor Lautner. So I would have just married Brandon Baker,
absolutely,
in this other side of quests,
a podcast, because that's what you do.
Duh, because that's what all cool people do. The world needs more podcasts. Everyone knows.
And
this.
I've always said that. I've always said that. I wish more people would do this.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing that actually did remind me a little bit of podcasting. This is so stupid and self-obsessed. But toward the end of the film, when John Malkovich, aka Craig, in John Malkovich's body, 8 months later is he's a famous puppeteer now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here's the thing. It's so much easier to be famous for a niche thing when you're already famous for another thing.
Exactly.
And I think about all these like celebrities with podcasts, and I'm like, of course you have a popular podcast because you're already good at this other thing.
Right.
Which means that nobody else who's good at this thing can really like break through because you decided that this is also your thing. If I were a puppeteer in 1999 and I saw someone like an actor like John Malkovich become like famous puppeteer, I'd be like, well, that's certainly not fair because I've been doing this my whole life. He just started 8 months ago, you know?
Correct. You would feel like Sean Penn. Like, fuck.
That's exactly right.
I don't want to just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think that is part of what the movie is saying. Like, contrary to what Kaufman is saying, that there's no point to the movie.
Right. Of course there's a point.
At the end of the movie, the only person who is really unfulfilled, well, not even really, like clearly unfulfilled, is Craig.
Yeah.
Because he has taken and used John Malkovich to not really learn anything about himself. He's not grown at all.
Right.
He just basically steals him.
Yeah.
And uses him to prop up what he wants to do in terms of puppeteering, which, to be fair, he is good at, but he just wants success and notoriety without earning it.
Exactly.
And Malkovich has the success as an actor because he has earned it.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of it that way, that like he's given sort of this permission to pivot his career because he's proven that he is a competent person with talent. You know?
Yeah, I guess Cusack is almost like, it's like nepotism a little bit. You know, he made it to the top of puppeteering because of Papa Malkovich.
Of course. Yeah, totally. He's like, well, people pay attention to him enough that if he started puppeteering, maybe they'd be interested.
And apparently Malkovich can do like backflips and shit.
Yeah, totally.
What a great scene.
That's so cool. I do think that it is really great that this was made before like the internet meme age, because imagine if an actor like John Malkovich actually like came forward and like told People magazine, hey, I'm not going to act anymore, I'm only going to be a puppeteer.
Oh my god, you're right. There would be like a whole campaign like Chalamet.
Yeah, totally.
Just to promote the movie.
Of course.
Oh my god.
It would be crazy.
Yeah. Real quick,
okay.
Why? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. You go.
I'm hosting this podcast.
Okay, so now this is Brandon's podcast.
So you sent me a list of like 40 movies to potentially choose from.
I did.
And there were like ones on there that I could have gone with, like 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I love.
Of course.
But just something like a little bit more, you know, empty calories-ish.
Sure.
And I saw Big John Malkovich on there and I was like, oh, that's a weird fucking movie. And I love that movie.
Totally.
But why was that movie on your list? Like, what do you love about Big John Malkovich?
So the reason that this is on my list is because someone had DM'd me and been like, hey, have you done Being John Malkovich? I feel like that movie couldn't be made today. And I was like, that's so interesting. Thinking about like, oftentimes something will like kind of come across my you know, symbolic desk because it's like oh, this would be really hard to make today.
Yeah.
And so what made it viable then, what made it successful then, that would be challenging now. And so that's part of the reason it was on my list. Another reason that I like it and, you know, like wanted to talk about it was just that I think it is really symbolic of 1999, kind of like the cultural moment, both like in how we perceive like celebrity, but also things about like identity and jealousy and corporate sellout, whatever, you know? And also I just love John Cusack. So there's that too. I think he's great. And I think that he and Cameron Diaz both really prove that they are more than just pretty faces.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They are, honestly, I think, you know, oftentimes on this podcast, I have these gripes about like, oh man, these movies from the 90s and early 2000s, they're always taking hot people and trying to make them ugly, and that's stupid. You should just hire ugly people. But after rewatching this movie, I think actually what we should be doing is taking all of the beautiful people, making them look kind of frazzled, kind of, you know, like frumpy. Normal, frumpy, and see, can they still deliver? And guess what? Cameron Diaz and John Cusack absolutely did.
100%.
They even kind of look the same. They both have this like crazy hair,
they
you know?
do. They really do.
They kind of like, it's sort of like when like people start to look like their dogs, or like they start to look like their partner. It's like you just spend so much time together, you kind of become one frazzled mess.
One frazzled basement dwelling couple. Yeah. Yes. No, it makes me miss Cameron Diaz.
Me too.
Because she was amazing in this.
Yeah.
And this was, I think, after Something About Mary.
Yeah.
So she's clearly like a hot movie star, but was like, nope, I also want to just do some weird shit with some like cool, like cutting edge, like filmmakers.
Yeah,
which I so like love and appreciate about that.
Absolutely. She's really like an artist.
Yeah. And before like any like facial stuff, you know? It's like everyone looks like a human in this. Like Catherine Keener's like teeth have not been touched.
Incredible.
I know, and I love that.
It made me think a lot about the Tyra Banks documentary.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so there's a newish docuseries on Netflix about America's Next Top Model, and the big ultimately like the thesis statement of it is is like Tyra Banks attempts to take accountability and doesn't. She's
That sounds
sorry
accurate.
a little.
Yeah.
And so there's this contestant who is incredible. She was like one of my favorite contestants on the show because I watched it when I was younger. I was like one of those people who like my fucked up ideas of the world were formed by.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know, right?
I did watch like the first probably couple seasons.
Oh, really?
I was right there with you. Yeah,
totally. There was a contestant who had this beautiful like gap in her teeth. Like
I know you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. And then they essentially they were like, if you don't get this gap filled, you will be eliminated from the show.
And she left the show, right?
No, she ended up getting her gap filled.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because the first time they were like, okay, girls, we're taking you to the dentist. And she declined to have her gap filled.
Yeah.
And then that week at like the judging, they were like, hey, so you're going to go back and get it done. Because Tyra does this thing where she's like, people see you and they're just going to say, they see easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Does this whole like, it's really hard to watch.
That's the
and
90s.
Then a few seasons later, they're doing makeovers on the girls, and there's a girl with like a tiny gap in her teeth, and she goes, and with you, we're gonna widen that gap. We're gonna widen.
Fucking way.
Yes.
What a dick.
I know.
I'm glad you learned, but you know.
I don't know that that's true.
Okay.
It is really interesting. I do recommend that you watch it if you enjoy docuseries.
I'm down for that, and I need to watch Manosphere.
Oh yeah.
Which I've heard a lot about.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. So anyways, I kind of wonder what Tyra Banks' approach would have been with this set of teeth, because
I know. It's like, oh, Catherine Keener, she like clearly smokes cigs.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love that about her. Okay, have you heard the fan theory that that she is the same person in Get Out?
Yeah. Really
this
good.
Is one of my favorite things. And Jordan Peele was like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. I heard the same thing.
I like it. I like that. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, it's the same universe.
Yeah, same universe. So for those who haven't heard this fan theory, it's that basically Catherine Keenan's character in Being John Malkovich and in Get Out are the same person. And I actually wrote down some of the specifics because sometimes I get a little bit lost. But it's ultimately like this, very similar concept of like using another person as like a vessel and using their consciousness as a vessel for immortality. Mm-hmm. And they said, hold on, I gotta find the specific. Okay, so the full idea is that Catherine Keenan's character is playing the same character. Maxine and Lottie from Being John Malkovich miss being a part of a relationship that involves body snatching, and they cross paths with Roman Armitage, the creator of the mind transplant procedure in Get Out. Lottie's mind is then put into Armitage's son, who then marries Catherine Keener, now going by Missy. The fan theory states that the two raise their daughter Rose and continue the Armitage experience with mind transplantation. And then Jordan Peele spoke with Vanity Fair about a bunch of different fan theories. He loves John Malkovich, and he was like, yeah, I endorse it. As far as I'm concerned, it's true.
Love that.
I love that. I love that. There's this fun video where Jordan Peele goes through a bunch of different fan theories and kind of like says whether he was in on it or not. Yeah. And this is one where he's like, sure.
That's great.
I know.
Love that.
I know. I love that. I really want to believe that is true.
It made me think a little bit of what celebrities have possibly been hijacked by a group of people. Centurion.
Absolutely.
Because when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, so how does that work when they all go into Malkovich and there's like 20 people in there? Like, are they just like in a movie theater? You know? Or are they just like occupying like different stadium seats?
Right.
But even beyond that, it made me think of like Britney Spears.
Yeah. Totally.
Did Britney Spears
Absolutely.
at 44
Yep.
get portaled
Yes.
by an older 105-year-old man that just loves dancing?
Yes. Absolutely.
Entirely possible.
I think that not only is it entirely possible, it is definitively true.
Fuck. And I love you, Brittany.
And
it's fucking tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah,
it is tough out here.
I know.
I think that there are many celebrities that we could say are in the sunken place.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I at the beginning of the Get Out press tour, I theorized that Kanye is in the sunken place.
Yes.
And the song Flashing Lights was actually like a sort of a warning. Kind of a cry
warning.
for a warning. And later could be seen as a cry for help because it's like, we need to flash some lights to get him out of the sunken place.
Well, I think that kind of might go to what you were talking about earlier, where does your public persona and your internal world either end or begin, if there is such a place.
Right.
So maybe you get so deep into your own idea of self, kind of like when Malkovich enters his own portal, that you are just lost in your own nightmare of,
oh my God,
of celebrity.
Yeah. God, and that scene, to me, that was when, I mean, obviously we know John Malkovich is a great actor.
Yeah.
That scene when he is playing everybody in the world.
Yeah.
I said, this man can act.
This man has great cleavage.
And I thought,
incredible.
Wow, look at that rap on John Malkovich. But truly, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else do we think might be have like a whole peanut gallery going on in there?
Well, it's kind of like you would think that someone who's abruptly made kind of a left-hand turn.
Right.
So Michael Jackson being one of those that like, okay, absolutely. You were this specific person at one point, and then all of a sudden you wanted to be white and you started acting pretty weird.
Totally.
And maybe you are a 105-year-old man.
Maybe you are. And a bunch of his friends.
Correct.
Or maybe, I mean, this is, I'm kind of torn about this one, but Russell Brand really kind of went.
Oh, he
took
did.
a real right turn, you might say.
He did.
But the signs were also kind of always there in the sense that like he was always just sort of like, I'm a contrarian.
I know. Well, and it was like this is veiled in spirituality.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he really had the like wellness to alt-right pipeline going strong.
He really did.
Yeah.
And I don't know where he is now.
Oh, I hope that he's not out and about. I hope he's at home, not leaving everyone alone.
Yeah. I hope he stays in.
I hope he stays in.
Yeah.
I hope he's sheltering in place, frankly.
Ariana Grande, some people say, you know.
Absolutely. I could totally see. She's got all of the like kind of a little bit drugged out old Hollywood stars living inside her going, goo, goo, gaga. You know?
Correct. Yeah. Or even like I am an Italian woman, but I've also made myself into this other multi-ethnic other sort of thing.
But I'm also this mysterious other thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Even like the voice like modulation.
Yeah.
And I know I'm talking shit a little bit and like, you know, celebrity and da-da-da. It's not easy.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Definitely not easy.
It's not easy. Never said it was, but
it is like a bummer when I don't know, when you miss someone that you see.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. When you miss like who you thought that they were.
And who they theoretically were. Like a version that feels more authentic.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's like the
Yeah, I know. I'm right there. You keep going. Yeah.
No, it's like the worst when that happens, not only with celebrities, but just like in like your personal life. Like, of course you want to like support people as they change and grow. But then sometimes it's like when people change too much, I'm like, well, that's not you weren't supposed to do that.
Correct. According to me.
According to me.
Right.
I liked this version of you.
Yes.
And actually, so if that could stay static, that'd be fine.
I know. It's so I do the same thing. It's so selfish of me because I want the freedom to evolve however I wish to evolve.
Of course.
And I'm not anything close, well, in a lot of ways, I'm not anything close to who I was 20 years ago.
Right.
But also people other than at that one restaurant aren't watching me like a hawk all the time,
Right.
you know, about how and the manner in which I am changing.
Right.
So I would imagine that's got to be pretty fucking maddening.
Yeah.
That people are... thank God people aren't commenting on how I am or am not changing all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely. Especially, I mean, I'm really glad that no one's like constantly being like, was it Botox or was it not? Was it Botox or was it not? Was it Ozempic or was it not?
Yeah,
how did
exactly.
how did he age or not age?
Correct. No,
You know?
I'm just Asian. That's all that it is.
You guys, that's all it is. You can't, there's no secret that you can take unless you are in a body snatching movie. And
Correct.
we've seen how race-based body snatching turned out in Get Out.
Exactly. Wow. Full
So
fucking
don't
circle.
do that. There's no secret that he can give you. Okay. I also thought it was interesting that this is completely not related at all to anything that we were saying, but a tidbit that I want you to know.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know, is that Kaufman sent the script to Francis Ford Coppola, who passed it on to his daughter's then boyfriend, Spike Jonze. Sophia and Spike Jonze.
Yeah, because when she was making, what's the film with Scarlett Johansson? It's like her big breakout role.
It's
Lost in
Lost in
Translation.
Translation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson is dating a music video director.
Right.
Who leaves, and she has this little tryst with Bill Murray.
Right.
And her boyfriend at the time, Spike Jonze, music video director.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Nepotism. At work. Getting this film made.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes, it is true that Kaufman wrote this, like, you know, in a silo, but nepotism did come in handy later when, you know, if someone, I mean, it would be kind of cool if you were like, if you could truly like delegate your work to your kids. It's like a different kind of child labor to be like, I don't want to produce this movie, but I'll give it to my kid's boyfriend.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
And I don't think it would have been made otherwise.
Yeah.
From what I heard is that the script arrived to Malkovich. He's like, yep, don't want to do it if it's going to be me.
Yeah.
Charlie Kaufman was like, cool, later.
Yeah.
And then he took a meeting with Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that it came
So
back to him is
wild.
because Francis was like, hey, this guy Spike Jonze is awesome. And you should do this movie.
And he was like,
Okay.
okay,
Francis Ford Coppola,
yeah,
whatever
totally.
you say.
But I mean, yeah, that's so cool. God, thank you, Francis Ford Coppola, for putting in the good word. A couple of things that also really like placed me in the 90s in this movie, like kind of the casual F slurs in conversation and
Capital,
like
the R
The R
slurs. Yeah.
that. I mean, here's the thing is that like that scene I think was truly not written with like malice.
No.
Of course.
Which is what the 90s were.
Right.
We're just ignorant.
It
We
was
don't
just
even know
ignorant.
better.
He
Yeah.
was like, that's just what we call like, you know, like mentally ill or disabled people.
Correct.
And so he's describing the role that
he's like, oh,
he
thank you
played
so
in that
much.
movie. And
Yeah.
he was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying it as an insult. Obviously, it's like hurtful to many
Correct.
people. But that
And
was
still
so
even
90s of
slightly
it.
inappropriate then because that is what the joke was.
Exactly, is that he was like, oh yeah, I was gonna ask you if anyone if anyone has ever told you, I thought you were all right in that one movie.
Yes, this does happen.
When people say, oh, you were all right in that.
Yeah. Or they'll be like, what were you in? What do I know you from?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Like, am I just going to like name these things off for you?
Right.
And then I'll go, there's been times where I'm like, oh yeah, I was in this and there. And they're like, nope, that's not it. Nope. Huh. I don't know. It's something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is a really awkward conversation now. I'm going to get going.
Oh my God. It's like that. I know that this has been done in movies and TV a lot, but I just finished watching Party Down. Have you ever seen that show?
Yep.
When everyone tries to figure out what Adam Scott's character did, and then when they get in, they go, are we having fun yet? I imagine it's a little bit like that where you see the moment where people go, oh.
Yeah.
I know you from something.
Yeah.
And then they realize it on their own and they say, are we having fun yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Mine would be, hey, Bono.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. So funny. Other things that place me in the 90s. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go back and scratch what I just said.
Okay.
This to me really was like kind of ahead of its time. The whole like gender identity part of this,
totally
fascinating.
Yep.
Because I think that that Lottie's character, Lottie's character, she when being in the body of John Malkovich and like having a sexual encounter with Maxine is like, wait, this actually feels right.
Yep.
And even goes so far as to say, like, I'm gonna have surgery, like this is my life now. And then I think over time, like, because we see at the end of the movie, like, she's like still living in like her body. Theoretically.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure.
Right.
But I think that it's just that in that time, it was so wild to imagine that like a woman would be attracted to another woman, that it's like, well, she surely must be a man if she's attracted to a woman.
Right. And
so I don't know, it's interesting because the two of them, both Maxine and Lottie, are kind of like, it's only their expectations and like what they've been conditioned to know that make them think like, oh, well, this couldn't be what it actually is. Like, I'm only attracted to you when you're in a man's body, and you're only attracted to me when you're in a man's body. But then, of course, by the end of the film, they're able to like be together as a queer couple.
Right. Malkovich brings them together.
Yeah.
It like forces them to confront their honest truth. And through that, they're able to self-actualize in an authentic, real way.
Yes.
To find identity and love.
Yeah. And like that's the thing, is that like, even though Maxine seems like a bad person, I'm still really happy for them.
Yeah. And she is shitty.
And
she is a bad person.
Here's the thing. None of them are really that good.
Correct. Even Lottie. He's like trying to shoot her at the end. You're like, Lottie, Jesus Christ.
Lottie is not good either. They're all pretty bad. John Malkovich is the only one who's like good.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, they portray him as being kind of oafish.
Yeah.
And stupid, which is really funny.
Yeah.
But he is the victim clearly in all of this.
Yeah, totally.
No, I love, there was a quote. I mean, Lottie says, don't stand in the way of my actualization as a man.
Oh my God, I loved that.
Which is so good.
That was incredible.
Meanwhile, Craig is like mansplaining to her actual feelings about it.
Yeah, he gets really mad and is like, you're just living in the thrill of being someone else. And there was a part of me, as I was rewatching this, I was like, is that what's happening? Is she confused about like the thrill of being someone else versus like her identity and attraction and all of this? And then like, it was like, just as quickly as it came in my head, I was like, no, that's stupid. Of course he's not right. Of course, like, she's discovering something about herself in this process.
But it does make you think about identity in the sense, for someone, it might be like, oh, this is helping me identify my true inherent feelings of either desire for a woman or the feelings of really being in the wrong body.
Yeah.
It then also goes to think of, oh, how susceptible are we to the information that we're consuming through a screen to take that on as my identity.
Right.
Because I'm just being fed it. And all of a sudden that becomes who I am.
Right.
I'm now radicalized into believing something because I'm just having this 15-minute experience through my iPhone, and someone's telling me how to think or how to believe.
Whoa.
And then therefore all of a sudden,
the
next 20 years happen, and hopefully one day you wake up in your midlife and you go, wait, whoa, what the fuck was all that?
Yeah.
Or you were just indoctrinated and you go through the rest of your life being a fucking shithead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
God, we got to throw our phones into the ocean.
Correct.
Oh, God. But yeah, I thought that Kaufman handled that so empathetically.
Yeah.
I thought that it was really like Like, it wasn't like she's a freak because she thinks this. It wasn't like she's wrong or that they like shouldn't be together. I mean, they ended up together in the end. And it's not because like this is a bow on top of a story, but like it is ultimately like things worked out the way that they were supposed to. Or
at least they were following their truth.
Exactly.
It didn't like patronize her at all.
Yeah.
It was like, no, she is having a true existential evolution.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And we're not like, she's not the butt of the joke for that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, but it also wasn't like heavy handed either. It wasn't trying to like say anything.
Yeah, well, it's still funny. She's like, "You're the father," or the mother,
or the mother.
There's also one quote at the very end when all of the old people are going into Malkovich, and the old lady says, "I've always wondered what it would be like to have a penis. Now I'll know."
Yeah,
just a throwaway line of an old woman just being like, "Yeah, I'm excited to have a dick."
Yeah, totally, and that it can just be what it is.
Yeah, it can be your truth, and it can also be this kind of like fun thing that we get to do.
Totally, yeah. I think that it really, and I know that this may not have even been like something that Kaufman did with like a lot of thought or intention behind it, but it just is like, yeah, well, gender is just a thing that we like can be silly with. This is something that like is adaptable. Like if we can like go through an office door into a portal into somebody's mind, it's not that crazy to think that people could also be like interested for like having a penis for 15 minutes.
And who knows who you can be if you just try on different lenses of self and allow yourself to explore that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
Incredibly cool.
It was ahead of its time. It didn't feel like it was making a this like grand statement, but it was just an interesting part of a story.
Mm-hmm. A weird, like it wasn't. It was maybe tertiary plot point.
Yeah, totally.
But that was like really well earned.
Yeah, I thought so too. Let's see what else. What else do we have to discuss? Oh, something that really, really frustrates me about Craig, and is that like he is more concerned about like being a monster than about like the impact of monstrous things upon other people. Like it is that sort of like, fuck Craig. Yeah. Craig sucks. Craig's the worst. But like it reminds me a lot of this idea of like perception and identity. Like he's not concerned about how like his behavior impacts people. He's more concerned about like, what does this mean for me? Yep. It's like when people are more concerned about like being accused of being a racist than they are about like the impacts of racism, you know? Yeah. They're like, well, don't call me a racist. That's worse than racism itself.
Correct.
Yeah,
totally. No, I think that is kind of the reason why at the end, even though Charlie Kaufman says that there's no point to it,
right?
It's like he's the one who doesn't learn anything. He's the one who's selfish to the nth degree, to the point where he's trapped inside this little girl and is still trying to fucking control her for his own means.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He will never learn.
Yeah. I know, which is why like the hair is perfect.
It is.
You know, that like low ponytail, like
the way that he grows out his hair as John Malkovich was so funny.
Yeah, really,
that was
really
such
good.
a funny addition.
Yeah, 100%.
I loved it. I loved it. The crazy hair. He's so stupid. I hate that guy. Okay, speaking of hair, Charlie Sheen's bald cap might be one of the worst bald caps I've ever seen. That was hilarious.
so good.
Yeah.
And that's when they're just like leaning in. That's what I love about this movie too, is it has some very serious things that it's talking about. Obviously identity, gender identity, existential crises. Am I me, or what is the me within me?
Yeah.
And it's all just like, And here's a really shitty bald cap.
Yeah.
We know how to make a good bald cap.
Yeah.
We just put a bunch of bald caps on all the Malkoviches in the Malkovich scene.
Right, yeah.
So we know how to do it so we get away with it. But we're just going to let this one go and give Charlie Sheen a huge fucking head.
Yeah, totally. Because it's funny.
It is hilarious.
I laughed out loud when we saw him.
That casting was really, really good.
And it was actually John Malkovich's idea to cast Charlie Sheen.
In lieu of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen Kevin Bacon in a very silly bald cap, though. I think it would have been funny.
I think he would have been great.
Yeah.
And just added to the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Totally. Solving the Rubik's Cube on his little...
yes,
talking about whatever. But yeah, Charlie Sheen was a very funny casting choice. And I liked it.
Same.
Okay, well, what? God, I know, like we said, we could chew on this for hours and hours and hours. But what else should we discuss in our last few minutes that we haven't discussed yet?
I guess I have a couple of things here in terms of what I feel like aged well.
Okay, let's talk about it.
A lonely guy in a basement.
Mm-hmm. Whose girlfriend says, I was thinking, maybe it'd feel better if you got a job or something.
Correct. And he's like, nah.
No, it's not that.
It's this wintry economic landscape. Yeah. Queer women leaving sad, pathetic men behind.
Yes.
Aged and so beautifully.
Yes.
The fact that they instantly tried to monetize John Malkovich right away.
Yeah.
Did not think about any moral or ethical quandary.
Absolutely
just
not.
went to people are into this, they'll pay for it. They want the experience, the escapism.
Yeah.
And they'll just they'll just eat whatever we feed them.
Totally.
There's obviously infinite number of corollaries to today.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I love that.
Lottie's clothes aged well.
Lottie's clothes did age well.
Baggy jeans, a shirt tucked in with a braided belt and a big scrunchie.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Walk down the streets of 5 Points, Denver.
Correct.
See.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fact that men will go meet a stranger just in the off chance that they'll get laid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lottie calls him on the phone.
Yeah.
He knows nothing other than her voice.
He doesn't even know what she looks like.
At all.
Yeah.
And he's there waiting at dinner.
Yeah.
In the off chance that she'll want to bang him.
Yep.
That's aged quite well.
That is aged quite well. I think it really shows that no matter how much power you have, how famous you get, whatever, even John Malkovich.
Correct. It's just looking to get laid.
You know what? I just really like to get laid.
Which I love that he took this role.
Me too.
Knowing that exactly how it was going to be portrayed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on a catalog looking, looking through Chinese food, just looking to order a rug.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. What is not aged well?
Okay.
Ordering off a catalog.
Yeah, of course.
Hiring someone to file.
Oh, yeah. Hiring someone to file. Yeah.
And me personally, I would say fuck chimps.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We've
seen too many of these documentaries to think that it's okay for them to be in your house.
Totally. That's fucking madness.
Yeah.
Okay, so this scar right here is from when I did Jungle Book.
Okay.
So kind of my big break was Jungle Book when I'm 11, 12.
Yep.
And there's live action Jungle Book. And so I'm training with tigers and Shere Khan and Bagheera, and I learn with a grizzly bear who's Baloo, right? And so one week I'm walking next to Baloo through an electric fence.
Yeah.
And next week they remove the electric fence, and now I'm walking next to the grizzly bear with a trainer who has a long chain link, whatever.
Oh my God.
And then the next week, now the trainer's next to him, but he doesn't have a leash on him, whatever. And then the next week I put my hand on Baloo the bear.
God.
I'm also working with chimpanzees in the movie. With chimpanzees, you are instructed to not hold their hand, they hold your hand. So you're basically a prop.
Okay.
You don't want to be dominant or submissive. You're just
there.
You're just there.
Okay.
So I do all this training, whatever, for a month at a time. We then start filming, and one day on set, we do this scene with the chimpanzees where it's kind of a funny gag scene, and the chimpanzee is supposed to put its arms around me and kiss me on the lips.
Okay.
We do that scene. Goes well. Break for lunch. We come back later. We have to pick up a shot where I'm lying on the ground, or I'm sitting with my hands on my knees.
Okay.
Monkey's supposed to come up, grab my hand, and take me off. What they did wrong was have the monkey higher than me. I shouldn't have been sitting. Because then the monkey is theoretically thinking about dominant submissive.
Sure.
And so in lieu of grabbing my hand, it puts its arms around me and bites my face.
Bit your face?
And bit my face. It backs up and it clearly is like, oh shit, I know I've done something wrong. Looks around.
Yeah.
And the trainers all run in, grab all 3 of the chimpanzees, wrestle them to the ground because they were afraid they were all going to like attack me.
Right, totally.
I grab my face because I'm like, oh, like it's like obviously a hard pinch.
Oh my God.
The camera's here where you're at.
Okay.
So it sees the back of the monkey's head, hug me and then back off. And then it sees, me like this. So no one really sees what's happened. Like director is watching on a video. My mom's back there. And I go back to my mom and I'm like this. And I show her my face, and my face kind of does this. So she like sees the inside meat of my face.
Oh my God.
Correct. And I see my mom's face, which kind of looks like your face. Okay.
They always say like when a kid falls down or whatever, you're like not supposed to make a big deal of it because you're not supposed to scare them.
Because when I see her shitting a brick, then God. I'm shitting a brick.
Of course.
Now I'm freaking out.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we went to the emergency, and I had to get like 17 stitches across, and I had like a fat scar. We had to like delay filming for 2 weeks, and we just shot with the animals for the 3rd week. 4th week we shot just this side of my face, and by a month later it was healed enough that I could put like makeup on it. And I had like a pretty big scar and like scar tissue, and I would just sit in school for like a year just massaging the scar tissue. Oh my God. So all that to say, love chimps that get to be chimps. Be a chimpanzee in the jungle.
Totally.
But a chimp in my house, let alone being trapped in a cage with a chimp. God. Fuck that. Okay, another random thing about the chimp. We see the memories of the chimpanzee.
So funny,
right? And we're all like on a camcorder, and we see the POV of the chimp.
Yeah, who has the same name.
That's what I fucking love. I love that. I love that they called him Elijah, and that Lottie is such a good chimp parent.
Yes, that
she has figured out that Elijah's name is Elijah.
That is his name.
Yeah,
it is incredible.
One of my favorite parts of the movie. Yeah,
she's not perfect, but
she's sweet.
She's sweet.
Yeah, she is.
She's a great chimp parent.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The whole thing with the chimp. I mean, the chimp is maybe one of the only like innocent like characters in the movie as well.
Sure, but even the chimp shows more of an evolution and growth than Craig.
Oh, big time.
The chimp is going to therapy. The chimp is a traumatic past.
The chimp is working through its own inner demons.
Right.
The chimp is helping Lottie.
Correct.
I mean, Craig's never done that.
Correct.
He would never think to.
Craig is only concerned about himself.
Yeah.
Which is why Craig is no longer in a prison.
Yeah.
Or is now in a prison behind bars, in a cage, if you will.
Yes.
And Elijah is set free.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Elijah is free psychologically as well. Moved past his trauma.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what his life and the life of all those animals looked like once there was a human child involved in the equation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did things change? Because there's always that cliche of the dog doesn't get as much attention when there's a kid around. I mean, they had a whole zoo in there. What happened?
Yeah, maybe Elijah was able to self-actualize for himself.
I hope so.
Find some independence out there, and
I hope so.
Got to pursue a life as a podcaster or something.
Totally. I hope that he did.
Yeah.
As everyone should.
Correct.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Everybody should have a podcast, and I've always said that. Okay, anything else that sticks out that we have to discuss?
Malkovich.
I would listen to a podcast of Malkovich just saying Malkovich over and over again.
I would too.
That would be so funny. I could see that as like an Adult Swim thing where it's just like 15 minutes of that.
And this is clearly Adult Swim inspired.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about Severance.
Yes.
Severance, clearly inspired by this film.
Yes.
I asked a few of my friends, have you seen Being with John Malkovich? And a lot of them haven't.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
because this is such a weird fucking movie that it couldn't be made now, but it occupied not only a specific time and place, but the world of the movie itself is so specific.
Yeah.
that I had a great time rewatching it. And so I think if anyone wants to watch a really weird, fucked up meta movie
that's also kind of funny,
but it's also really fucking funny, like a dark humor, then do it.
Yeah, I think this is the one. And also, if we didn't make it clear enough, just rewatch Johnny Tsunami. Obviously, it was a blast rewatching. It was a blast talking about it. It was a blast talking about it with you. I mean, and I was so touched that you were not only entertained by, but like that it was like a thought-provoking experience for you to listen to our conversation about that movie.
Yeah, it was great. I had a great time because I love thinking deeply about things in general, but about film.
Totally.
I never thought to do that with the movie that I was in.
Yeah, totally.
Nothing against Johnny Tsunami or Disney Channel, but I'm so happy that you did and that you took me with you along for the ride.
Oh my God, of course, anytime. And maybe we need to go back and we need to sit down and talk about one of your other roles in Jungle Book or in something else that you've been in. I mean,
probably not.
Okay, Nick, go ahead and cut that out.
No, we could, but I think Johnny Tsunami is like the clear one. Like people always ask me, they're like, "What should I watch of yours?" And I'm like, "You should watch Johnny Tsunami. That's a movie that I would watch if I wasn't me, if I wasn't in it. I would have still liked that movie."
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot of other things that I've done where I'm like, totally. I had a great time doing it.
Yeah.
You know, not everything is
No, wasn't a huge fan of the chimps, but...
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Take me back to the trauma. What the fuck, Molly?
Yeah, I know. And we're going to unpack that for a while after this. So that's behind the paywall. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Brandon, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This was such a pleasure. And I now know that Brandon and I are... basically I wouldn't go so far as to say neighbors, but I live like a mile from here. Sick. And you live like a mile from here as well.
Correct.
So
yeah, we're neighbors.
We're basically neighbors. Yeah. And how cool is that?
Super cool.
Anything else that you want to leave the listeners with? Anything you want to point them toward, or should people listen to your podcast? I mean,
listen to Flip Phone Confessional if you want to hear us kind of have fun and just kind of explore 90s 2000 stuff.
Cool.
If you want me at your wedding, I definitely still marry people.
Cool.
If you like music, come to Meadow Creek Music Festival.
Nice.
August, September. King Gizzard and Pretty Lights. I help produce a music festival out here in Colorado, so I would love to see you there too.
Cool. That's awesome. Did you think like, oh, getting married is so cool that I want to do this all the time? Like, did you get married and think, this is cool?
I started doing it before I got married.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So luckily I did eventually get married. Because it was like,
totally.
oh, here's this officiant who's not married.
Yeah,
who's
they're
doing
like,
this.
What does he know?
Yeah, those who can't teach kind of thing, you know? But no, it was my sister who got married, I don't know, a few years ago.
Yeah.
And she asked me to be the officiant, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to be in these beautiful places with these people in love.
Yeah.
Where, there's a bit of a performance aspect to it. So
of course.
My previous career helps with that.
Yeah.
But I get to be me, and I'm only saying things that I believe in, and it's awesome. And people are super appreciative, and I don't know, just a bunch of love leaving work every day.
Oh, it makes me so happy. Well, if you know what? If you're thinking about getting married, do it.
Do it.
And then hire Brandon. Well, thank you so much to you. Thank you everybody for watching and listening. You know what to do. Follow and subscribe and blah, blah, blah. We'll see you next time. Bye.